William, you know what I love about this time of year? It's just so colorful.
Colorful and delicious.
We have a feast for your eyes and your mouth next on Garden Time. Welcome to Garden Time. We're at Margie's Farm and Garden out in Aurora, and you know, last weekend was the unofficial start of summer, and it's not too late to come out here and get some beautiful color for your garden.
In fact, for the next 3 or 4 months, we're also going to be celebrating produce, starting with strawberries. Later on in today's show, we're going to give you a fresh strawberry pie recipe. Sounds delicious.
And also coming up in the show today, we'll be showing you an adult version of Legos that will help you build a raised bed.
We'll also be telling you about a place where you can get all of your gardening questions answered.
But first, we'll be at a garden that will teach you how to water wisely.
So generally, we take you to wonderful gardens and we show you plants and designs. Well, I am in an absolutely wonderful garden today. I am here with Steve at the Tualatin Valley Water District, which is also a part of the regional
Water Providers Consortium.
And they do stuff a lot with water, don't they? You guys work in tandem.
We do. There's actually more than 20 water providers in the Portland metro area, and this is a great way for us to come together and work on things like water efficiency and emergency preparedness and source planning, things like that.
Well, and the thing that I love about this garden, and it really is a beautiful garden, is it has all the elements of design. It has all of this beautiful pathway and plants. In fact, you know, you even have plant listings of what's in here.
Sure.
But this is such a great concept for gardeners and for putting in gardens because it really shows you things that need water, how to water, the different ways you can water your garden very effectively.
Yeah, demonstrating how to water efficiently. That's our goal, and we hope that we pulled it off here.
Well, so tell me, like right here where we're standing, it looks to me like there's two very specific different types of plantings. So let's talk about why that happens.
Yeah, well, it was part of the architect's concept is to basically use this meandering pathway that we're standing on as you move through the garden. On the west side, you have what we call naturalized non-invasive species for the most part. It's not absolute. And then on the east side, we have more or less a native palette. So you have, you know, because homeowners don't always necessarily want to go with purely native palettes. You know, they want to have things that are of interest, and really that was another concept behind this, was that we want to reflect what homeowners are likely to have in the ground at their property, so we can show them how to take care of it in the best way possible.
So within this one small area of this garden, what would be some of the differences in how one would water these?
Well, for example, in this sort of a open plan, we have what are called multi-stream rotating nozzles, which have a really great uniformity and are a great way to adapt from traditional pop-up sprinklers, as opposed to what we have over on the west side, where we need to cover a larger area and kind of get up above that. We have 12-inch rotor nozzles, which are, again, very common, but you know, a different application for a different type of planting scheme.
Well, and I have to say, this part of the garden, to me, when I walked up and saw it, is breathtaking. It's full and lush. It looks like a ton of water has been spent on it, but that's not the case, is it?
No, not necessarily. I mean, this, and believe it or not, this panel on the on the west is actually considered a turf alternative. It is beautiful and lush and full, but it's also sort of a constant you know, texture to it. Sort of that uniformity of a lawn without the weekly mowing requirement.
Yeah, all the efforts of it.
Obviously, you still have to provide some water and a little bit of fertilizer, but you're not out there every week mowing and disposing and all of that.
But Steve, you also have some actual lawns, not only traditional types of lawns, but some alternatives. Talk to me about that a bit.
We actually have 3 different lawn plantings, and they're also, each of them are alternative lawns. One is a popular seed mix called Fleur de Lawn that's very produced and packaged in our area. It's a mix of yarrow and daisies and clovers that are allowed to really go 2-3 weeks. Require about half the typical mowing regimen that a standard lawn would take, and also about half the water requirement, but will grow up into like a wildflower meadow type of a feel. Then we also have what's called dwarf companion, which is a more even, lush green feel, but again grows much slower, has a much lower fertilizer requirement and water requirement, but again is a more traditional lawn as far as appearance goes.
So people really, when they they can walk through here anytime.
Absolutely, it's open, and that's the intent. We really want folks that are moving through the community to kind of take the time and move through the garden, grab a piece of literature if appropriate, or
you've got a lot of information.
Sure, and just give themselves a self-guided tour. If they find something that they like, they can identify it with the plant list, take that to their nursery, and then put it in their own yard.
And if you're here, they're even welcome to come in and talk to you or someone about
specific
questions.
I'm generally in the office. Folks are welcome to come in to the front desk, ask for Steve, or just let them know that they have a question about the garden. They'll give me a call, and I'm happy to come out and talk to you about the garden.
And they can even pick up a copy of the water efficient plans for the Willamette Valley.
Absolutely, absolutely. We keep that stocked in our kiosk out here. We have that publication, also the 7 Steps to Water Efficient Landscapes, how to plant and maintain a lawn, and other general tips for indoor and outdoor water efficiency as well.
Well, you know we love living here in the Pacific Northwest, and we think we have all the water in the world, but it is never unintelligent of us to take some time and really figure out how to use our water wisely. No better place to do that than to come back out here, go through this garden, get some information, and really work in your own gardens to make that happen. Absolutely. It's really a pleasure spending time here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah with Portland Nursery, and I'd like to invite you to check out our website where you'll find valuable gardening information that you know is local to our area. Check out our Gardening Solutions page where you'll find over 100 helpful brochures, or sign up for our email newsletter to receive timely gardening advice, inventory updates, and upcoming classes and events. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people, on 50th and Stark, 90th and Division.
For over 75 years, Collier Arbor Care has provided tree, shrub, and lawn care services to the Portland metro area. From large tree to small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs. Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems. We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy lawns, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs. Collier Arbor Care, environmentally friendly since 1937.
Coffee, nature, and peace of mind. A new way to envision outdoor spaces. A new way to shop. Visit Drake's 7Ds, Portland's only outdoor living showroom on Shoals Ferry Road.
Since 1926, the Bonide Company has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. 8 Insect Control takes care of most lawn and garden insect problems. Effective against more than 100 insects, it can be used on flowers, vegetables, fruits, and even on houseplants. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
At French Prairie Perennials, we take pride in being different. From our rare, unique, and unusual plant material and handcrafted garden art to our visualscaping program, we can help you create an outdoor living space as unique as you are. Our gift shop has home and garden decor and gifts for all occasions. Visit our store in the heart of Oregon wine country, French Prairie Perennials, Dundee, Oregon. Outdoor living elevated.
I am at Little Prince of Oregon, who is a grower right in the valley here in Oregon. I'm with Mark, and Mark, you know, we all love to have a little piece of woodland or native areas in our gardens, and you really picked a beautiful group of plants for us.
So what we've got here is variegated Solomon's seal, which is a cool shade plant. We would call this a woodland plant. It's not necessarily native to the Pacific Northwest, but they're hardy to zone 4. They need part to full shade, and I love the variegated foliage. I mean, I'm a sucker for variegated foliage.
The green one's beautiful too.
Yeah, it is.
But it is,
yeah.
And they're kind of past bloom, but the foliage still looks nice this time of year.
Yeah, yeah.
Really nice. And then really, so this is truly a native in the area.
Truly native. This is sword fern.
Beautiful.
And ferns make great backbone plants for shade areas, integrating them with hosta and epimedium and other things like that. So sword fern will give you a plant with some size.
Right. Kind of big.
Yeah, so I love them. I mean, we grow a lot of sword ferns and sell a lot.
And they're evergreen, which is nice too.
Yeah. This is deer fern, which is a little bit smaller, also evergreen. I've always liked, I don't know why, but I've liked the foliage of deer fern. They kind of lay out a little bit flat and just, yeah, it's a cool plant.
Maybe for a smaller garden, because the sword fern's going to get so big.
Yeah, sword fern's going to get big. This is going to be somewhat smaller. Maidenhair fern is also going to be relatively small.
So delicate.
So deer resistant, which is a great thing about ferns.
Right.
I don't know why they call this one deer fern, but it's deer resistant.
Right. And all ferns, I think they really bring such a texture to the garden too. Look at, there's 3 distinct plants, but they're all different texture.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
And then this is kind of a different texture, this round leaf.
Yeah, this is a hardy ginger.
Beautiful.
Asarum is the genus of it, and it is also a great woodland plant. It gets a kind of a hard to find flower.
You really have to look for
you have to
them.
look for the flowers, and the flowers are actually pollinated by slugs, which might be one useful thing for slugs.
Definitely.
If you're having trouble finding slugs to pollinate your asarum, you could drizzle them with a little Dos Equis, and it'll probably bring in
more slugs.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a colorful plant. Sometimes native and woodland plants aren't the most colorful in the warmer time, so that's beautiful.
Colorful and also sun-loving. This is Lewisia, which was actually named after Lewis and Clark, Meriwether Lewis. They're alpine plants. They need a lot of drainage, but I love the color of these.
Wow,
and
they're beautiful.
We grow several different varieties of Lewisia, and yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
Stunning.
In a container, they're nice too, because then you can control the drainage more.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're beautiful. Mark, if our viewers want to find your plants at independent garden centers, where can we find them?
So always look for the frog on our tags. That's the first thing. And so we do a lot of branding at Little Prince, and so some of our tags say native ground, and those would be native plants. The ferns would be in a group that we call Made in the Shade.
Okay.
So it's a black tag with the frog on it. These belong to our Fit for a King line, as does the Solomon seal. So yeah, just look for the frog, and that's always the way to tell Little Prince plants.
If you have any other questions, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over their website. They have a really great one with lots of information about their plants. Thanks so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
For this week's tip of the week, it's about deadheading iris. I love iris blooms, but they get ugly when they're past their bloom time. So it's really easy. You just take pruners and you just take off the flower that's finished. You leave the other flowers to finish up, and you could deadhead those as they kind of finish out their bloom time. When all of the blooms are done, you could take the stalk down all the way. Because this is a rhizome, you want to leave as much plant material on as possible so that it gets re-nourished for next year's bloom. You can take off some of these unsightly ones and just kind of trim them down if it's kind of driving you crazy. But you really want to leave as much green material on as possible for next year's growth. And that's our tip of the week.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Based on reviews, I found Capital. It was an excellent experience. I felt very comfortable, especially being a single woman.
Start your next adventure right now at Capital. Lease the new 2015 Subaru Outback 2.5i all-wheel drive, just $249 per month, and get 2 years complimentary service.
When I hear stories from other people about car buying experiences, they're horror stories, and mine, I just left with a big smile, and I've been smiling ever since. I got it my way on the Parkway.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Look at your home. Winter left behind grungy stained decks, walks, siding and lawn furniture. You know they look awful. Clean them all today with the original and still the best 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Since 1977, 30 Seconds has delivered clean when you want it clean. Easy to use, spray it on, wait, then hose away winter dirt, grime and stains from algae and mold. From our family to yours, thank you for buying 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Find it at leading home stores and garden centers.
Color, color, color. When you think of your garden, think of color. Then think of Margie's Farm and Garden. High quality plants and great customer service are our trademark. Fill those empty spaces in your spring and summer garden with our beautiful perennials. This week, buy one, get one free on all our premium perennials. Vegetables or herbs, hanging baskets or perennials, trust Margie's Farm and Garden, just off I-5 near Aurora.
Don't you just love all the things inside Garden Time magazine? So much great information about gardening.
I do, William. There's new plants, adventures, recipes, local gardeners, home tips.
And it's free, right in your email. But there's two things you left out.
What's that?
You and me. We write some of the articles and get to share our gardening knowledge.
Of course. I should have... William, where did you go?
Right here, Judy. You'll find both of us every month in Garden Time magazine.
Sign up for your free subscription on the Garden Time website.
So I'm standing out in the beautiful gardens at Lonesomeville Pottery, and although they make pottery, they also have some wonderful gardens that we love to come and visit. And I'm here with Wayne, and you're going to tell me about a good idea that you have for taking care of some of these, aren't you?
Really?
You are.
Okay, because you know, I haven't really had a good idea since the 80s.
Well, then you're going to tell us of an older idea that you remembered. How's that?
Okay. Here's how it goes. Every year I call up the good people at Garden Time and say, please, can I be on your program? And they always say no. And I'm like, I've got a really good idea. And then they're like, okay, I haven't had a good idea for years.
But occasionally you do, and this is actually one of them.
Yes,
You've got to own it.
Yes, my actual idea was to control mold with high explosives, but
that didn't work.
That didn't work.
But what did work?
Well, okay, this. Ta-da!
And so really, first of all, tell me, all you did is put the plants in a pot and then sink the pot in the ground, but why?
Okay, this is the equivalent of a moo-moo in a garden. Moo-moos are primarily used to cover unsightly parts of the body. I use this to cover unsightly parts of the garden.
So again, I still need to know why you put them in the pots though.
Okay, here's the secret. Are you ready? These are wave petunias. They will cover an unsightly spot in your garden. This is an unsightly spot in the garden. Ooh, but there's a problem. When they really grow in, it's impossible to tell where they're growing, and if you water them from overhead, it makes them collapse. You could put in a soaker hose, but again, being not that bright, I always think it's a snake, and I put a stick.
But then I would also think that that would give you complete direction, not only for watering, but if you fertilize, you know exactly where to put the fertilization.
You took the words out of my mouth because you don't think I'm getting to them fast enough.
But that is true, is it not?
Sure, okay.
And then you have pictures too that we're going to show people too.
Do I?
Of the previous year.
How do you know all this stuff?
Because you told me.
Oh.
So how did those look from last year? Did it work?
No.
Oh, he's lying. It totally worked.
It really does work.
So this is a way of putting pottery and pots into the garden, but you guys, you've done some pretty cool stuff in other parts. So
everywhere.
Everywhere, it's true.
Wow.
So we're going to take a walk right over here. We're going to get out of the sun, and we're going to look at some other stuff.
These are little lines.
It works that way on all of us.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay, Wayne, now while we were walking back, focus, I'm down here.
Okay, no.
When we were walking back here, we walked past some beautiful blue pots, and you guys had really cleverly worked them into the stone wall.
That was
Now,
a long
come on.
time ago. I don't.
Well, I just noticed it.
Okay.
It's a very good idea.
I remember them.
Do you?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
It was 20 feet away.
Wasn't that clever of us?
It was clever.
No, I know. We're really good at that. Yeah.
But then we came back here, and
We did.
now this is new, because I have not seen this whole thing before. Tell me about this.
You can incorporate ceramic edging and pots in your flower edging.
Edging your flower bed.
There you go.
edging,
Yeah.
there we
Well,
go.
thanks.
Well, here's what I think is
exhausting.
cool, though. First of all, we are not potters, most of us.
I am.
I know you are. So this edging here was actually made by you guys, which is lovely. You can just use bricks, this edging which you guys made, and then you just set the pots in.
It actually only works if you use the edging that we made that you can purchase at our sale on Saturday.
Second lie, you can use other edging, but you should come by and use this edging. So listen, so when is the sale? What's going on with the sale today?
Today, which is Saturday, right? Because that's when this airs.
all day long.
Yeah, it's an open garden. Huh? Yeah, beautiful. And we sell pottery. Thus, it's called a pottery sale open garden.
And I bet you even have a website, don't you?
I bet we do too.
Are you going to tell me what it is?
Isn't there a scroll underneath here around crotch
I just
level
want to
that
make
will
sure
tell
that
us
you know
what it
where
is?
you're at, though.
Whoa. If I'd known there was a pop quiz involved, I probably wouldn't be on the show.
Well, then I'll help you out by telling you. You can go to gardentime.tv. You certainly need to come out here, enjoy the fun, look at the beautiful gardens, pick up some pottery for your house or for your garden. And you can we'll click you over to their website. You can find out exactly when the sale is and what's going on. As always a blast, Wayne.
He cut me off.
I totally cut him off.
You know why? I offered him a gin and tonic as soon as we're done. But he cut me off.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
Add a treasure to your home or garden. At Grand Valley Ornamental Iron, we have the largest selection of ornamental iron pieces in the area. Our structures can add to the beauty of your home or garden. Spring is here, and we have a huge overstock of arbors, trellises, and obelisks. Right now, they're all 20% off. Bring us your ideas, and we can make them a reality. Grand Valley Ornamental Iron, between Aurora and Hubbard on Highway 99.
Giddy up and get on over to Garden Time's Facebook page for your chance to win.
It's 2 3-day passes to the Oregon Jamboree happening the first week of August in Sweet Home, Oregon.
So round up all your partners and your doggies and come on over to Facebook's Garden Time page.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall.
So I'm up in the beautiful state of Washington. I'm in an office and I'm here with Becca and Karen. Now, Becca, tell me, what office is this?
This is the Clark County Master Gardener Answer Clinic.
And I'm going to make the assumption that there's a process to become a Master Gardener in Washington, just like Oregon.
Correct. We all go through a 12-week training process
Nice.
on different horticultural practices, disease and pest diagnosis, botany, a variety of topics.
And so this is the Answer Clinic, which means I'm assuming that people can either come here, contact you by phone or email, and get answers.
Correct. People can bring in different problems with their plants, an insect that they found in their yard, and either walk in, email, phone call, and we'll help them figure out what it is.
And you actually have people that man this office. You're one of them, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Yeah. And so if people give me a couple of ideas. Like if I have a plant, do I bring in the dead part of the plant, the diseased part? What is it that really helps you identify the problem?
The best thing to do would be to bring in a part of the plant that has an issue, but then also a healthy part of the plant so that we can see what the plant should look like, and it helps us with diagnosis.
Certainly. I would think it would help you IDing the plant too, because if you bring in a dead limb of a tree,
we can't tell what it is. Right.
You got to be really skilled to figure that out, don't you?
Exactly.
And so we actually have some of the things that are brought in here, and I'm now going to chat with you, Karen.
Okay.
Let's just start right from the beginning. And
Okay.
tell me, like, this looks familiar to me as some kind of disease I see too. Tell me about it.
Yes, this is the azalea lace bug. This is a symptom of what that would look like. And you'll notice this is not an azalea. This is a rhododendron. And we are starting to have this problem with rhododendrons in this area too. So this is a very common problem. A lot of people are coming in now with this type of sample or emailing us a picture. And if you have a really good picture, and you email this, we can probably diagnose it that way, or we'll ask for a better picture or a sample.
I remember, Karen, when iPhones first came out, we were all thrilled because customers
Yes.
were actually bringing pictures in, but now we need more clarity.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes we get a really good picture, but we're really good at very politely asking for a better picture or to please just bring us in a sample.
So if somebody brought this in to you, what would you say to them about this?
Well, we would first we would make sure that we understood exactly what the problem is.
Sure.
This one we're pretty familiar with.
Yeah.
And then we would provide the information that's available to us through WSU primarily.
Yeah.
We provide
'Cause
research-based.
It's not like you guys just sit around and Google the answers. You actually base this on some real
on
science.
some real research, yeah. So we will look at local university answers primarily, and if we can't find it there, we'll look across the country at other universities that would provide research-based answers.
Let's go to this next thing. Of course, this is apples. Both Washington and Oregon love our apples.
Right.
And this we see a lot too. Tell us about it.
Yes, this is apple scab. This is a very common problem that comes in now, actually all through the summer and into the fall. And so apple scab is a fungal disease, and it's very common in this area. And generally our best answer to people is, if you possibly can, plant a scab-resistant variety, because this requires a lot of spraying to solve apple scab.
Yeah, I remember how years ago a friend told me that just because there's a scab on an apple doesn't mean you can't still eat it and cut it off. Cut the scab
Exactly,
off.
but it will eventually damage the tree.
Yeah.
And this one is a problem that doesn't normally come into us until it's way too late. This is just a sample of apples that should be thinned out.
Oh, certainly, yes.
So this should be thinned out to just one apple per, like, your fist.
Yeah.
So, but generally people don't do that, and then they come in later and say, why are my apples too small?
Yeah, yeah.
It's because they didn't thin them.
Now, we have some baggies here.
Yes,
Tell
a
me
lot
about
of
this
people
little
bring
thing.
us, and we do, if you have an insect issue, we do appreciate getting it in a bag so that we don't spread it all around the county. But this one is two things. Often we'll get the leaf miner.
Yep.
And really, the answer for this is there's not much you can do about it.
And you know, explain that why, because I know why you can't really spray this, but tell people the difficulty of spraying a leaf miner.
Well, it's in the leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't,
kind
the
of
spray
protected.
does not reach it, yes. And with a lot of problems, you know, if you just had it on one leaf, pick the leaf off
Certainly.
and discard it.
Yeah.
But a lot of problems, if you have a healthy plant, it can withstand a little bit of damage. And so not everything has to be sprayed.
Well, and I like that you said that, because really a healthy garden is the most vigorous way to keep disease and pests down.
Yes.
Now, what
and
is this one here?
This one, we get a lot of calls, and they just can actually describe this one. But a lot of people get freaked out by this little, well, it's a spittle bug, and that describes exactly what it looks like. It looks like a little ball of spit. And this will do no damage to the plant. It looks a little gross for a while, but then it just kind of goes away. Or if you really don't like it, you can just spray it off with some water. And then a lot of times, if you have a healthy bird population, they'll come and eat that little spittle
that's
bug.
true too, yeah.
Yeah,
That is very true.
Yeah, and so it'll feed the birds.
And then this is another one that we face a lot here.
Yes, right now people are going to be seeing this. This is peach leaf curl. And that, I should have, see, I didn't follow my own advice. I didn't bring a healthy peach leaf. But this is, ooh, and it's got earwigs. 2 problems in one. But the earwigs are an after effect. The leaf curled up, so it was a convenient place for the earwigs to go hide out. Again, this is a lot of spraying, and we would recommend that you just put in a variety of peach that is resistant to peach leaf curl. One of those is frost.
Yeah, well, and we are lucky enough now at this time period of our history to actually have great plants that are much more disease resistant.
Yeah. And other than that, you can just pick off, if you have a few diseased leaves, pick them off, get them out of your orchard, your garden, and
now this
the
last one's
okay.
a big one here, isn't it?
It is. This is a rhododendron leaf. And you can see it doesn't quite look right. The edges are all nibbled, and we will get this quite a bit too. Yeah. And what's doing this? And they'll look on their bush, they can't see an insect.
Right.
You know, who's doing this? These are root weevils, and they live in the ground, and they come out at night. And that's why you never see them unless you go out at night with a flashlight.
And how do you take care of them?
The easiest way I recommend is to put nematodes into your soil, and they will eat the root weevil larvae. Generally, you do that in the fall. But they're not really going to kill your plant. Just live with the damage this summer. Do the root weevil, do the nematodes in the fall, and that solves a lot of the problem. Or you can put tanglefoot
around,
sticky stuff around the base of the rhododendron, and the root weevils will get stuck on it.
So now, Becca, this is a really great example of one of those times where somebody brings something in and it's not quite enough. It's just the dead part, so you have to start to identify before you even begin to identify the problem.
Correct. So ideally, the client would have brought in a live sample along with this sample so that we could identify what type of tree this is. We can look at it and be pretty certain that it is verticillium wilt, but we would have to ask further questions of the client if they know the variety of the tree or any further pictures that they have of the tree so that we can identify 100%.
And at least you can narrow it down, though.
Correct. And so then we would be on the road to helping them determine what to do.
Well, you know, this is just a brief example of the work that these good people do here, and a brief example of the different diseases and pests that can invade a garden. So, you know, for more information on how you can get help, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Thank you so much, Karen and Beck. It was really delightful.
Thank you.
Not farm to table, yard to table. A new way to envision outdoor spaces. A new way to shop. Visit Drake's 7Ds, Portland's only outdoor living showroom on Shoals Ferry Road.
Little Baja is your source for a whole lot of terracotta and concrete too. From bird baths and benches to Buddhas, bears, and fountains, plus the exclusive Baja chimney. We have an amazing variety of the finest in terracotta and concrete containers. Come check out our selection of statuary for any garden theme or setting. So for something for the garden, deck, or patio, come see us at Little Baja on East Burnside in Portland. Find us on Facebook too.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
What are you looking for?
Judy, I'm looking for the Garden Time Subaru.
William, it's right behind us.
And you can find it too. It's as easy as going to gardentime.tv.
So click on gardentime.tv and click on the Subaru. Each month the Subaru will be in a different location. Give us your best guess and you could possibly win.
Each month, one lucky person will be chosen from all the correct answers. Prizes can include a gift card to a great nursery, some wonderful tools, or other sweet prizes.
So go to gardentime.tv and help us find the Subaru. It might seem that I'm in a wild area, but we're actually by a place that thousands and thousands of people commute by every day, and I'm with Roberta Schwartz, and so where are we?
We're at the corner of Chandler and Blankenship, right off of the 10th Street exit of 205, and we sure hope you'll come and see this beautiful place.
So what do we call this? What is this?
We call this the White Oak Savanna, and there used to be 600,000 acres of this beautiful land all up and down the Willamette River. Now only about 2% still exists.
Wow.
Of that 2%, only 1% is owned by the people, like this beautiful park. We have 14 acres that we've been able to secure and restore as a park, and we have 6 acres left to go. We're busy trying to raise money to do it.
And it's really part of the Westland Park system.
Yes, it is.
You know, and we came here earlier in the day, Garden Time Gang. We brought a picnic lunch, so really you can enjoy it in that way too.
Yes, you can. The Eagle Scouts have been wonderful. They've put in a beautiful kiosk. They put in a beautiful park bench. Well, actually 10 park benches that the community has helped to raise money towards. And they've also put in the picnic bench that I found you at today. I love it every time I see people at the picnic bench. It's so nice to know that people are discovering this hidden treasure.
It is. And so a little history. So you've been involved in how long?
We've been involved for about 11 years so far. My husband and I took a hike one day, and we knew we shouldn't be doing it because it was trespassing.
Oh.
But we did come in, and we started little by little to getting into this beautiful place, and we saw that it was like a secret garden.
Ah, and then so somebody owned it and it was going to be developed.
It was going to be 280,000 square feet of commercial office space and about 400 parking spaces with it. And we thought we've got to do what we can to see if we can save it.
And so really through your efforts, you guys bought it with some other partners.
It was so great. It's been a community outreach from the very get-go. We started bringing people up here, and as soon as they came up and saw it, they said, who do I write a letter to? Who does it go to? When can I send it? And we started getting first elected officials and then others wanting to save this beautiful place.
So what are the other partners? Who all got in?
It's been Oregon Parks and Rec has come in, and they have paid for a third of this 14-acre beautiful stretch. Another third was paid for by Metro, and then the third was paid for by the city of West Lynn.
And I love it too that you really got even a rock star involved.
Oh, it's so great. We knew we needed to have a song, so we decided to try to do an outreach to Joni Mitchell and see if there was any way possible that we could use Big Yellow Taxi. They paid Paradise and put up a parking lot. So we started with Sony and then with Warner Brothers, and then they directed us to the publicist. The publicist said, okay, now you can talk to the agent, and her agent said she doesn't like to give away this song. This song is very important to her. So we said, could you give her a couple of paragraphs, and could you also please just show her these photographs of this special place we're trying to save? And about a week later, we got a really nice call from her agent, and she said, are you sitting down? And I said, yes. And she said, Joni said yes. And we went all Valley Girl, and oh my gosh, she said yes. And they were in Beverly Hills in their office, and here I was in West Lynn, Oregon, and we had this amazing connection going on.
It is. And it is a whole community, and so you have volunteer work parties and things, and you're uncovering native plants that really haven't seen the light of day for years and years.
Yes, we are. We have a wonderful man named Wendell Wood, and he comes up here every 3 years from Crescent City, California. He works for Oregon Wild part-time, and he'll come up every 3 years to see what new things have been able to come up, because they've got light and air and everything that they need. With the Himalayan and Armenian blackberry going, more of the natives are coming up, and we just had one that was special that was found last year by the scientists.
That's cool.
And it's called the purple snake root, and it had not been seen in this neck of the woods for 100 years.
Wow, and it's back.
It's back. Dr. Stephen Myers at the university has said it is back. And I said, this is a big deal for us, Dr. Myers, and he said, this is a big deal for us too.
And also Collier and Bartlett Tree Care has also helped with it.
They have been amazing. Terrell Collier, and I'm sorry to say that he has recently passed, and now in his stead, wonderful man whose name is Kevin Carr. And Kevin Carr is the new manager, and he has done so much already. We had 60 little Gary Oaks that were put in by 30 middle school kids.
Oh, fun.
And Kevin was here showing him how to do it along with his wife and one of his top arborists.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Really great. It makes you feel very, very, very close to him and close to, he knew this was a special place, and he, from the very get-go, the first time I took him up here, he said, our company wants to help you. What can we do?
That is wonderful.
Wonderful.
It really brings a whole community together. It's a community garden, but it's not a vegetable garden like we usually hear.
That's true, and we had the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde come up, and they said that it's been their garden forever. And so when we get the last of we've got 14 acres secured now, and we'd like to get the last 6 acres done. And what they'd like to do is have a test garden to try to see if they can bring in some of the things that they, as a tribe, would harvest here. And of course, they would leach the acorns, and they would use the blue camas and bring up the tuber. So they would like to have a test garden here, and we're all about that. We would love to have that happen.
So it's just not a beautiful place, it's a historical place. It's somewhere to bring the kids, somewhere to walk around. Really, you've done such a wonderful job. You need more helpers? Can we come and help somehow?
This is so great. We would love to have people. So far we've had 10,500 people who have come here, and as I was telling this nice group at lunch earlier at the picnic bench, they've been as little as 2, and as the oldest who's been up here working has been 85 years old. So 10,500 hours in the 5.5 years that has actually been 14 acres, an actual native natural park and significant wildlife habitat. The last 6 acres we're trying to get, and Metro gave us a second grant. This is so great.
Wonderful.
They don't usually give a second bite of the apple, but they gave us another $500,000 grant. The citizens have come up and matched that $500,000 grant. We're about $200,000 away from making the whole 20 acres into this beautiful white oak savanna forever, in perpetuity.
So, we can go to gardentime.tv, we'll click you over to their website. You can help monetarily or with your volunteer hours, get dirty, get in the garden, and really help bring this legacy forever and ever in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peonies, bold and beautiful, an old favorite, but ever new, and perfect for your garden. At Adelman Peonies, you'll find hundreds of different peonies, bush, ito, and tree peonies covering 20 acres. Come stroll the display garden, then find a special plant or bouquet to take home. Join us any day of the week for beautiful color, or weekends for special events. Adelman Peonies is just east of I-5 at exit 263 on Brook Lake Road, or online at peonyparadise.com.
Professionals have grown with Dram watering tools for over 65 years. Discover the quality of Dram. Nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Select from 9 water patterns. Care for your lawn with quality that will last a lifetime. Dram, the professional's choice for lawn and garden, at a fine garden center near you.
Judy, do you remember when I asked you if you liked me? I mean, if you really liked me?
Yeah, I liked you on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I need you to do that again.
Well, we really need everyone to like the new Facebook page for Garden Time. So you just go to gardentime.tv and click on the Facebook icon and like us again for our brand new page.
Create this year's containers and baskets with Black Gold natural and organic potting soil. Don't trust your edibles and flowers with a potting soil labeled organic. Look for the OMRI listed logo on Black Gold natural and organic potting soil to be sure it truly is organic. Look for earthworm-enriched black gold at your local garden center, or go online to blackgold.bz. Black Gold, all the riches of the earth.
I'm at Portland Nursery today on Stark Street, and I'm with the inventor of a very cool product. I'm with Matt from Together Farm. And Matt, what is your product?
Yeah, this is called Together Farm Blocks. It's a quick and easy way to make your own raised garden bed.
And so what is the history on that? Because it kind of looks like a Legos kind of product.
Yeah, it's inspired by everybody's favorite children's toy, and it's an easy way to make your own raised bed without any tools or accessories needed. So you don't have to have any special skills. You can easily make your own raised garden bed in 5 minutes or less.
And so you got together with some friends and you really came up with this product a couple years ago.
We did. The idea was to kind of overcome some of our barriers to building our own raised garden bed, and we all like to grow our own food. So the idea was to come up with an easy way to make your own garden quickly.
So let's go look at this. So when you get a kit, you would get this many blocks.
Yes, this is Each kit comes with 24 blocks, and there's a variety of different colors available. There's a solid brown, there's a solid gray kit, and then there's a multicolor kit that comes with 5 different colors.
It makes it a lot more fun than having just a wooden kind of structure in your backyard.
Absolutely, it's fun and it's reconfigurable. You can change it after the season is over. You can rebuild your garden. You can take it with you if you need to move, and it's quick and easy to place it on your balcony or in your yard.
I love this one that you did over here because it's actually a take on a strawberry pot, but it's kind of really futuristic.
It is. Yeah, it was an inspiration by one of our Facebook followers, and they sent me a picture of kind of building their own strawberry raised bed, so we call that our strawberry stacker.
Oh, it's great because you can just put the strawberries and they would hang out, and you can make it as tall as you want.
You could, and this is actually one whole kit configured as a strawberry stacker, so there's nothing missing that you would normally need from a regular kit.
And you know what else about this product is that it's food-safe plastic, which is really on our minds these days.
It is. It's all the plastic is polypropylene. It's the same as like a yogurt tub container, and it's made no BPA, and there's no phthalates in it, so there's no bad chemicals that will leach into your food. And like you said, it's absolutely food-grade plastic.
Ah, so Matt, can you put one together because we need to show how easy this is?
Absolutely.
All right. Matt, that was really easy. It's so easy a kid can do it.
It is. It's very light and portable to make your own raised garden bed.
Yeah, and you know, it comes with directions, but I don't even think you need them.
Absolutely not. It's just a suggestion.
And I like too that it's made locally and from recycled products.
It is. Each block is made right here in the Portland area. All the plastic comes from the Portland metro area as well. And there's a number of specific design features of the blocks that makes it easy and multifunctional for a variety of different uses.
Huh.
You can insert a garden stake into the larger openings and create your own trellis.
You can even put like plastic on it, maybe to extend the season.
You could make your own hoop, like a hoop house.
And what about if we want to leave it more permanent? Is there a way to kind of even spike it into the ground?
You could. You could buy spikes or use the stakes again to stake it down. You could also use screw fasteners like a deck screw to fasten these blocks together to make it really strong and sturdy if you feel the need.
Okay, and then what about a drip system?
Yes, absolutely. You can run drip tubing right through these same openings, and flexible drip tubing would extend right through the entire garden itself and up to the top, so you can run your own drips.
That makes it even more easier down the road.
Absolutely.
And I'd like too that you could make it larger. You could just buy more kits, you can extend it, you make another one, a mirror image, or make something else fun.
Yeah, it's expandable, so you can make it taller or wider or different configurations. There's a whole variety of different ideas.
So where can we find these?
They're available here in Portland Nursery as well as on my website, togetherfarm.com.
You know, it's the beginning of the season and we all love to plant all kinds of new plants. So this is just another tool that you could use for your garden or your deck. Matt, thanks so much. This is a really cool invention.
Thank you.
Our northwest weather can be really harsh on our statues and pottery, so I'm at Little Baja and Burnside with Jared, and you have a product that really would help with that.
Yes, we sure do. We highly recommend this sealer here. It's a masonry top seal made by Timber Pro UV. It's made locally. The reason we like it so much is that it's non-toxic and water-based. So it's not gonna, hurt the birds or the animals.
So you can put it in your bird baths, which is really important.
You sure can.
Yeah, because I've noticed cracks in mine, and it's like, I wish I would have done that, so I need to go home and do that this weekend.
It really helps to preserve the skin on the concrete. And the good thing about this is you can use it on brick, asphalt, pottery, statues, anything that's porous that you'd like to preserve.
And so how do you apply it?
Well, you want to make sure that the item's clean, that you got it nice and clean, make sure there's no stains on it, because once you seal it, the stain will be trapped in there. So clean it up really good, let it dry out, and then once it's dry, you can apply your sealer. We recommend that you work from the bottom up, and that way you don't get any run lines going down the concrete. And then once it's sealed, and that'll last for about 5 years.
And you can put it right back outside, or should you have a drying time?
Oh yeah, you want to let it dry for a good 24 hours.
So Jared, I see that in your store you have a little demonstration, so can you demonstrate it for us?
Oh sure, well we have 2 frogs here. It'll be real easy to tell which one's sealed and which one isn't. You'll see the water beads up and runs off just like Rain-X on a windshield. And on this guy, the moisture just kind of soaks right into the concrete.
So Jared, that is really telling between the two frogs with the product and without. And so how long does it last again?
Well, it lasts for up to 5 years. You'll notice when the moisture starts soaking into the concrete, it's time to seal it. But I'd say about 5 years.
Well, you know, this is really a great little project that you could do for all of your masonry at your home, your pottery, your bird baths, and your statues. So come out to Little Baja, talk to Jared, and get this product to take home.
If you build it right. Build it to last. Don't just build it for yourself. Build it for the next generation. Build it with Par Lumber. And keep building the Great Northwest.
Par's deck sale is going on now with TimberTech starting at $219, Trex $229, and Cedar at $139 per lineal foot. While supplies last, visit par.com for details.
2 stages, 22 shows, one sweet, unforgettable weekend. The 23rd Annual Oregon Jamboree, presented by South Pacific Auto Sales, is doing it again. We're bringing you Keith Urban, Dirks Bentley, Big and Rich, Lee Bryce, Hunter Hayes, Thomas Rhett, Sam Hunt, and so many more. July 31st through August 2nd. Tickets on sale now at OregonJamboree.com. Presented by South Pacific Auto Sales.
Transform your home and garden with help from Garden Gallery Ironworks. From garden structures to home decor, we can help you refresh your indoor and outdoor living spaces. Decor that is exquisite and unique. Garden Gallery Ironworks makes your home and garden attractive, appealing, and a relaxing place to stay. Inspired designs that are locally made. Garden Gallery Ironworks, located in the Hubbard Industrial Park off 99E. Look for the amazing petunia tree.
Standards prices are great. We've checked, they're very competitive. That's why we use them.
You don't have to waste time running around making phone calls. It's good to know when working with Standard that our staff doesn't have to spend incredible amounts of time searching for pricing.
And even with the clients that have checked around, they've always come back to Standard as being their best buy.
Since 1947, we set the standard. Standard TV and appliance.
Garden Time's Incredible Edibles.
So I'm out here with Margie at Margie's Farm and Gardens, and we're standing in their new store. And Margie, it is strawberry time, isn't it?
Oh, we are in full flesh of strawberries now, yes.
So tell me a little bit about, you guys grow all these yourselves, right?
We grow all of these ourselves. We have 6 different varieties right now of our strawberries. We're picking currently Hoods, Shuxtons, and Puget Summers, and we also have coming on Puget Reliance and our Rainier strawberries.
Now, when you're thinking about buying strawberries, you know, people use them for different reasons. They have fresh eating. Some people are doing jams and pies. Is there anything specific in a variety that you think is better for those things?
What our main thing we look for is the ripeness of the berry. Of course, if you have berries that are nice, red, juicy, those are going to be great for jam or canning or pies. Is what we really look for.
Yeah. So if you have something that have maybe gotten a little overripe, those would be great too for using for that.
Oh, those would be nice and sweet for some
Nice.
fresh jam.
Because
Yes.
it's really, and speaking of cooking, you know, I think what we are going to do now is pick up some of these, and we're going to go look at a pie recipe that Margie's going to share with us. So let's pick them
Let's
up and
get
go
going.
out. So now we are out here with Margie in your kitchen, Margie.
Yes.
And we're going to be making the strawberry pie, and you've had me crush graham crackers, right?
Yes, we have 14 graham crackers in this bag, and we like to do it in the Ziploc bag so it doesn't make quite the mess.
Very easy.
It makes it nice, and it's a good project for the kids.
And was there a specific graham cracker you used?
I just use the honey grams, graham crackers.
Because you know, I was thinking of those chocolate graham crackers.
Well, those would be really
I know,
good.
right?
Really good. Oh,
so really, it's
maybe
any
next
graham
time.
cracker at
Any
all.
graham cracker works.
And then once it's done, what do I do with them?
We just crush it up, and then we dump it in the bowl.
Okay. What else are we adding?
And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar.
Okay.
Put it in there, and then I mix that up real quick a little bit. And then we add a 1/2 cup of melted butter.
And you just pour that in.
And then I just pour that in.
And then I'm assuming that we're going to be baking this?
We are going to bake this, yes. Once we get it all mixed up and put it in our paint pan, we will bake it at 350 degrees for about 8 minutes.
Oh, so you're just kind of firming up.
I'm just firming it
crust.
up, and yeah, so that it'll be nice and solid.
And then I would think too, this would be the time if you wanted to add any other kind of, like if you wanted to put some cinnamon in there or whatever, that you'd add
you
those
could add some
spices
extra
now.
flavors, right?
Nice.
Exactly. So we pour it in our pie pan.
And you didn't grease the pie pan?
I didn't grease. I think a half a cup of butter is probably enough grease in it. So then you just start forming it into your pie plate.
And that's all you're doing is just pressing it in?
Just pressing it so that it hardens in the form.
While you finish that up and we bake it, we're going to take a break and then get ready to put it all back together when it's done baking.
Perfect.
Okay, Margie, now the crust is done. That was about 8 minutes in the oven.
Yes, it took about 8 minutes.
What were you doing during that 8 minutes?
During the 8 minutes, I was making the topping of the strawberry pie, which is 1 cup sugar, 3 tablespoons cornstarch. I mix that up, and then I add in about a cup of mashed strawberries with a half a cup of water. I mix that all together on the stove top and bring it to a boil for about a minute, and then you're done.
So once that's done, which really you did that within just the small amount of time it took to
I did all that
crust,
and made that and cooked it during the 8 minutes of cooking the crust.
So now I see some cream cheese here. What is our next step?
Our next step is 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is half of the block there.
Okay.
We'll put that into
Look what I'll put that one right there. I'll put this one in there.
You can take that home.
How's that? Thanks.
We take that and then we take about 2/3 of a cup of powdered sugar.
Okay.
We mix that up in the bowl.
Oh, that's the quietest blender I've ever heard.
Isn't
That's
that really
amazing.
nice?
Wow. And then after you mix that up, is there anything else? Just those two things going in now, right?
It's just those two things. It's just a simple cream cheese filling.
And then you just do that until it's blended well?
I like to make sure it's all blended. The
Yeah.
chunks are out. The powdered sugar and cream cheese are mixed really nice together.
And then that goes in the bottom of the crust, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Wow, that really does quickly. I'm amazed at how fast this recipe goes.
This, you can make the whole pie, cooking and everything, probably in less than 20 minutes. It's a nice, easy recipe.
Then I'll move this over here for you.
So there's our done pie crust.
So then you're going to spread that in, and then on top of that, yours where you put the fresh berries.
Yes, yes, we pile this above the cream cheese filling. We pile it with fresh berries, either whole ones. I like to cut them up in halves or quarters, kind of easier bite-size pieces.
And then on top of that, is where you put the sauce you made, right?
Yes, the strawberry glaze goes on top of the fresh strawberries.
And then, look at this. This is what you end up with. And I have to say, that alone looks wonderful, but you can even go a little notch higher with whipped cream and stuff.
Oh, you can make your own whipped topping, or you can use the squirty whipped cream out of a bottle, or a scoop of ice cream. Vanilla or strawberry would be great with that.
Well, it looks absolutely delicious. And
Thank
if you're
you so
thinking,
much.
You're welcome. And if you're saying, I want to make this, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click over to the website. You can get the recipe and whip up a strawberry pie to delight your family. Thank you, Margie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching today, and thank you to Margie's Farm and Garden for letting us hang out. Now you got to come down here and get some tasty strawberries and beautiful plants for your garden.
We'd also like to tell you about a plant tour that Judy and I are hosting mid-July. You can go to gardentime.tv for more information on that.
Well, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time.
Look at your home. Winter left behind grungy stained decks, walks, siding and lawn furniture. You know they look awful. Clean them all today with the original and still the best 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Since 1977, 30 Seconds has delivered clean when you want it clean. Easy to use, spray it on, wait, then hose away winter dirt, grime and stains from algae and mold. From our family to yours, thank you for buying 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Find it at leading home stores and garden centers.
Giddy up and get on over to Garden Time's Facebook page for your chance to win.
It's 2 3-day passes to the Oregon Jamboree happening the first week of August in Sweet Home, Oregon.
So round up all your partners and your doggies and come on over to Facebook's Garden Time page.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.